Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas, and welcome to the 15th video in a series of game development tutorials on how to make your own visual novel style game in Unity. In this tutorial, we'll be covering randomization, as we want to randomize the background depending on day and night, and have some songs that match that tone. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload. Feel free to leave a comment and drop a like. I also have a Patreon page where you can help be a part of this channel. You'll also find all the scripts and the assets to this series there too, along with plenty of other things. You can also now join as a free member. Now, on with the tutorial. So last time we had the idea of creating two different possibilities, i.e. park in the daytime, park in the nighttime. And what that entails is basically just a randomization script that will bring you into whatever it would be. So, first things first, what we need to do is we need to rename the park back asset. We need to call it, or game object, I should say, park back day. Then hold control, press D, and let's rename this to park back night. We want to keep the fade in off at the moment because if we have that on, it looks a little bit silly. We can't really see what's quite going on. So we need to make sure that we do have fade in off just for now. Back onto the nighttime image, and let's change this to kind of a deep blue color. It's up to you how dark and deep you want it to look. It really is entirely up to you. I'm just going to have it as a bluish color. And just to make sure there is definitely some difference between the two, you can turn it off up here, turn it back on, and you can definitely see there is a difference. So the next thing we need to do is turn off the nighttime image and turn off the daytime image because only one will be generated. We also need to import some extra audio. So we need some songs that will play whether it is for the daytime or whether it is for nighttime. And I want them to be different as well. So let's go to our audio folder. Let's go to BGM and let's import two songs. So I'm going to bring in these two. And as always, go to the pinned comment and you'll be able to download these assets completely free. Once they're in, we just need to bring them into the game itself. So let's go to Scene Control, let's right click, and let's go to Create Empty. And we'll have this as Audio. Under Audio, let's right click, Create Empty, and we'll have BGM. And then once again, under BGM, keeping everything neat and tidy, we'll have Park Day, Hold Control, and then Park Night. So now we have two objects that we can place our audio into. So let's drag Park Day onto Park Day and Park Night onto Park Night. Make sure that we have Play on Awake ticked on both of them and Loop also ticked. Next, turn both of them off. So highlight both and untick. So right now we have no audio and we have no backgrounds, although they are in the game. We just need to now go into our script and create the ability to randomize one or the other. So what that entails is going into our scripts, going into scene 2 and going into scene 2 event. So let's open it up in Visual Studio. Next thing we need to do is we need to declare those variables. So let's go to the top and I'm going to go down and I'm going to put double slash for an annotation and put these are for the randomized scene. That'll do. So, for variables, we need two for the background, two for the audio. So we can say serialize field, game object, park day, and then serialize field, game object, park night, and then once again, serialize field, and we'll call this also game object, and its name can be day BGM, and then finally serialize field game object night BGM with a semicolon. So there's our four variables declared. At what point do we need to actually engage all of this? Well, we need to do it in the start method because we need this to be generated randomly at the start. How do we do it? Well, we can say in fact what we'll do is we need to actually add in the variable for randomization. Otherwise, this isn't going to work, obviously. So serialized field, we'll say int, and we'll do random scene. It obviously can be called anything you want to. And what we need to do is say random scene equals random dot range, and in brackets, the lowest and the highest. So if it generates a 1, we want daytime to appear. If it generates 2, we would want nighttime to appear. But what we're going to do is type 1, comma, 3, close bracket and semicolon. Why have we typed 3, even though there's only 2 possibilities? Well, the highest number will never be generated. It's not a bug, it's not a quirk, it's just the way this script will work. There is no need to ever generate that maximum number. So if your maximum number is 10, it will only ever generate 1 to 9. Think of it that way. So in this case, it will only ever generate 1 or 2. At this point, what we can say is if, and in brackets, random scene equals 1, and that's a double equals, then do the following. Park day dot set active is true, semicolon, and also day bgm dot set active also true. Now what we can do here is we can either use an else statement, because let's face it, it's either going to be 1 or 2, or we could use another if statement. So we could say else, and then we'll say park night dot set active true, and night bgm dot set active true. And it's as simple as that. If we save the script now, what will in effect happen is as soon as we start the scene, a number will be generated, 1 or 2. If it's 1, then it will display the daytime information. Otherwise, it will just display nighttime information. So now let's head back into Unity. Give it a second to compile. And once it's done, we are going to turn the fade in back on because we want to see this all happen correctly. So let's turn fade in on. Let's go to scene control and let's add in the variables that we need to here. So we've got part back day, part back night, and then the daytime BGM, and then the nighttime BGM. So now if we press play, we should be able to see one or the other generated. Daytime. Excellent. Let's now see if we can get nighttime to generate. Obviously, it's random, so it could be the same thing, in which case it is. Let's get the nighttime. So hopefully this should be it. No. It will happen, trust me. It will. There we go. We've finally got the nighttime one to happen. And just to make sure, all the other bits should work as intended. And they do. And obviously it will still work when coming from the other scene. So I'm going to save that scene, head into the class scene, which is the first one we created. Let's press play. And let's go through the motions here and just make sure that we still are able to generate an actual background. Because at the end of the day, if a background doesn't appear, it will look very, very strange. Didn't expect it there yet. Next. Didn't mean to. Let's go to the park and look for a carne. Let's. There we go. Perfect. So at this point, you can see just how well all of this is now flowing together and how, the music and visuals can really create a visual novel, give it some heart and emotion. So what we'll do next time is we'll get to a point where we want to have a main menu to this. And the main menu will take us basically to our first scene to start the game. And we'll build in other things, we'll save game and we'll load game, things like that. But next tutorial, I do want to focus on a main menu. So remember to subscribe, click the notification bell, and you can stay up to date with every tutorial still to come in this series. And I will see you next time.